rightful king. King Victor, the man who had taken power after the mysterious fall of the royal family, stared at the messenger trembling before him. The man had ridden all night to deliver the news. "My king." The bell rang in the old palace tower. Victor's face slowly hardened. "That bell only rings," he said coldly, "when a royal heir enters the palace." Silence swallowed the room. Victor clenched his fists. For years he believed the princess had died. He had ordered soldiers to search every village, every forest, every riverbank. But they never found her body. Now the past had returned, and it was walking through his kingdom. Far from the castle, Anastasia walked along the dark road with the only two people she trusted: Leo, the blacksmith's son who had protected her since childhood, and an old traveler named Marta who had once served the royal family long ago. Marta looked at the glowing pendant and sighed. "The kingdom is waking up," she said softly. "People are starting to remember." Anastasia's voice trembled. "I'm not ready to be their queen." Marta placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You were ready the moment you chose courage instead of hiding." But the road ahead was dangerous. King Victor had already sent soldiers across the land, and one of them was a man who knew Anastasia better than anyone expected. Captain Adrian had once sworn loyalty to the royal family. Years ago, he had carried the infant princess out of the burning palace and placed her into the arms of a fleeing servant to save her life. But now he served Victor's army. When Adrian received the order to hunt the princess, his heart grew heavy, because he knew one thing for certain: if Anastasia truly returned, the kingdom would either be saved or destroyed. Days passed as Anastasia and her companions traveled through forests and villages where rumors spread faster than the wind. Some people bowed when they saw the royal pendant. Others looked terrified, afraid the king's soldiers would punish them for helping her. Every step forward brought hope, but also danger. One evening they reached the old monastery hidden in the mountains. It was the last safe place left for those loyal to the royal family. Monks welcomed Anastasia quietly and lit candles in the ancient hall. For the first time in years, she stood beneath the royal crest carved into stone. Her eyes filled with tears. "I don't know how to lead a kingdom," she whispered. Leo stepped forward. "You don't need to know everything. You just need to care about the people." That's something the king on the throne never learned. But the peace didn't last long. Outside the monastery gates, armored horses approached. Captain Adrian and his soldiers had found them. The monks rushed inside with panic in their voices. "They're here." Leo grabbed a sword. The travelers prepared to escape through the mountain path. But Anastasia did something no one expected. She walked toward the gate. Leo tried to stop her. "If they see you, they'll arrest you." Anastasia shook her head. "No more running." The gates slowly opened. Captain Adrian rode forward, his soldiers lining up behind him with torches glowing in the night. When his eyes met Anastasia's, time seemed to stop. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Adrian slowly dismounted from his horse. "I was hoping the rumors were wrong," he said quietly. Anastasia held the pendant up so the torchlight reflected off the royal symbol. "Then you know who I am." Adrian closed his eyes for a moment. "Yes, Your Highness." The soldiers behind him looked confused. Some lowered their weapons. Adrian had a choice to make, one that would decide the fate of the kingdom: serve the false king or protect the rightful princess he once saved as a child. The wind blew through the mountain valley as tension filled the air. Anastasia stepped closer. "If you arrest me," she said calmly, "King Victor will remain on the throne. The people will continue to suffer." Adrian looked back at his soldiers, then back at the young woman standing before him. He remembered the burning palace, the cries of the royal family, the promise he made to protect the child he carried into the night. Slowly, he knelt. The soldiers gasped. "My loyalty," Adrian said, lowering his sword before her, "was never meant for a thief who stole a crown." One by one, the soldiers behind him followed. Knees hit the ground, swords lowered. In that silent moment beneath the moon, the lost princess finally became something more than a leader. But the battle for the throne had only just begun. Because when King Victor learned that even his own soldiers had begun to kneel before Anastasia, he prepared something far darker than war. And the next sunrise would decide whether the kingdom would finally see its true queen or witness the final fall of Princess Anastasia.